It's March 19, 2013, 11:01 p.m. I'm a little calmer. I'm sitting here just relaxing, talking to a friend. This video's gonna be a little more relaxed and casual, probably longer too, because I'm just rambling on my thoughts. I'm tired. Just getting some rest and taking care of some odds and ends on some things that I'm doing. Going over um, a lot of different things online. Catching up on some stuff. No matter what goes on with me and Weezy, I want him to be okay. And mainly because I feel for him, even outside of our relationship. Just looking at him in a objective way, because I know why he has done a lot of the things that he's done. If you can't see it, I mean, it's hard to see it. It's hard to see. I can see it so clear. The whole road of his life. Wayne gets mad at me sometimes because he thinks I'm making fun of his pain, but I'm not. There's a certain amount of, I get nervous when those things happen, but I'm tired of getting nervous. I've had so many incidences where I've heard rumors that he died, long before any of this, and it'll stop your heart when the person that God ordained for you, that your husband, that he made for you, you getting reports that he's dead. No. But when he was in Rikers, I wrote to him, and he called me and let me know he got my letters and this and that. And but I can only be me, and I began to get real with him with some things. He don't like to be corrected, you know what I'm saying? He looks at it as it being correction, but I'm going to speak the truth because that's what's going to help you. You have a lot of people who will aid and abet a person in destructive habits, get things for them that they don't need, you know what I'm saying, and just assist them in destroying themselves. And I don't do that. I don't enable people. I don't enable people to live in to do things that's not good, and just stand by. When you care for someone, you're going to tell them the truth, whether it's something they want to hear or not. And Wayne, a lot of times, only wants to hear what he wants to hear. He wants yes men around him. But look at where it's gotten them. And that's what they're trying to cover up, too. A lot of that, they're trying to cover up the fact that That's why they're quick to say, any kind of spokespeople on his side, they're quick to say he's okay, it's all right and everything. It ain't all right. No, people know a person keeps falling out, having seizures. They're found unconscious on the floor. It ain't all right. You know what I'm saying? But what it's telling you is the people around him ain't doing him no good. And it shows that whoever he's around, whatever he's been around, it hasn't prevented him from falling out and having seizures. You see, they're not gonna tell you we ain't no good for Wayne's life, you know. And they may even say to themselves, well, we're not. Some of them, we're not really supplying him with anything that's causing this. We're not hurting him. We got his back, and they tell themselves shit. But these people ain't following the Lord. You know what I'm saying? They're not. When you follow the Lord, you walk in His plans for your life. You know, you don't try to place yourself in places that even seem like good places. You follow Him, and I know that there's a lot of people He's around that have no business in His life, because one of the main ways you can tell is they attack God's plans for his life. The most horrific thing, Jacinta will always be the most disgusting person I've ever met, because I see what she's done to her son when he was a minor, when he was a child, and how he didn't know the way and he didn't have his father to guide him in the right way, and baby wasn't a good influence on him at all. That's easy to see. You can even see that through Wayne's own lyrics in his music. And so all you had left was this mother whom you're supposed to be able to trust in, and she leads you into destruction and lets other people abuse you and use you, and she don't give a damn about you other than to control your life because you've gotten to this level of fame and power, and she wants to be in control. She wants to have the authority, and that's all she wants, because she's weak. She's trash. And it's offensive to me that, I mean, if she was someone of intelligence and someone of some kind of moral fiber, and she wanted to be in control, you know, I wouldn't be so disgusted, but she's not. She did nothing but abuse Wayne, lead him in the wrong direction when he found the right direction. Like she just going to destroy all light and all hope out of his life. You see what I'm saying? He's only had his abusive, trash mother, and he covers that up so that you don't see it. He covers up talking about she showed him how to treat a lady and all that. All of that is lies. You just can't cover up the truth and just say lies because you want her to appear like a normal mother, because he sees the difference between her and a normal mother, but he's not going to show you. You know what I'm saying? He's not going to say it because he's trying to seem normal. You understand what I'm saying? Like everybody else, blend in, but his life keeps telling on him. Things keep happening that he can't control. And it's revealing things to you. That's why they try to hide it, because it tells you that the people around him ain't no good. They're not helping him. They're not leading him in any good path, and that's not their job. That's the job of his wife. But then because I come out and I tell the truth to the world, to the media, he's upset about that. So instead of instead of him being grateful before he even came out publicly, you got to understand that me and Wayne, we have dealt with situations, and I've talked to Wayne for many, many, many years privately, before y'all ever heard me publicly. So he knows right from wrong. You understand? And because he was immature and not having the mindset to say, okay, this is my wife. God made a wife to be a helpmeet for a man, the Bible says. He made a wife to help her husband. He looked at man and said, "It is not good for man to be alone. I will make him a helpmeet for him." He didn't make a best friend. He didn't make children. He made him a wife to help him. So man is in need of help, God says. God, the creator of heaven and earth and mankind, said that man needs help. And he made his wife, his woman, to help him. Not another man, his wife. All these people, well, not all, but predominantly Chastity, baby, Toya, they can't be me. They can't replace me. They don't have my authority. They don't have my anointing in Wayne's life. They don't have, because Toya ain't called to be Wayne's wife. I am. So she couldn't do what I do. You understand? She actually has no place in his life. None. She's totally created by Chastity. And that's why people say, well, why would she try to hijack your identity? She has a child by him. She's his baby mama. Because she had no place in his life, not even as a baby mama, because that baby situation happened through Chastity's doing. So she really has no place. You understand? But she tried to advance a place that is not a place. You understand? And hijack my identity. But anyway, um, yeah, it's like she's way off the path of God for her life. I don't know who knows what it was, but it's not this. It was never as Wayne's wife. And any road that led out of that, as far as anything done, as far as a career or anything like that, that's all false because that's all built on lies. They just try their best to keep y'all from knowing me. They try their best to keep y'all from seeing me and from hearing me, as if this trash can hide the plans of God, the righteousness of God. And it is offensive to me that is somebody like Chastity that tries to rule and reign over Wayne's life. She wants to be the main bitch in Wayne's life. And when Wayne's real wife from God, who truly is the main bitch in his life because she's God's plan for him, she tries to kill me because she don't want me to have the say so on things, because she wants to have the say so and control over his life and the authority that I have. She was jealous of it, the power, the fact that he was in love with me. She's trying to act like she's Wayne's wife. His own mama is, in addition to all the other evils and abuses she done. She's just trash garbage. She can't celebrate when a good woman comes into Wayne's life because she's trash. She don't even relate to me at all. She can't. You know, she's totally of the devil. And when you of the devil, you don't like people of God. I always want to throw her nasty ass weight around. Like, yeah, I'm the bitch. I'm his. You ain't his woman. You ain't his wife. You're sick, and you're on your way back to hell. Trash. She's trash. But Wayne is a grown man. I mean, physically he is, intellectually and maturity wise. That's something else. And that's just the real. So, but him getting on the wrong path, his own mama did that to him. So when the light of God came into his life, I'ma kill it. I'ma destroy it. That's her. And make him do what I want him to do. He did. She couldn't kill it though. So he trusted in her. And then when he didn't want to trust in her and he saw that wasn't the way, she worked roots on him. I mean, I know I'm saying the same thing over and over, but it's going to forever be something that's shocking to me because I've never seen someone do their own child this evil, this long, from beginning to end. I've never seen someone do that to their child. I've never known this level of evil ever. You know, I've seen some bad things, but nothing this deplorable. Man, I tell you, New Orleans, when it comes to evil, they got the fucking monopoly on it. I mean, that shit is straight demonic and diabolical. And she's able to do this evil. I know she's of Satan and all of that, but it'll never stop being shocking to me. She's able to do this evil so long, and keep on doing it. And they're just trying to cover everything up, hide it from your eyes, because it's telling now. It's harder to hide, and Wayne knows that. She went behind his back when he wasn't looking, you see, and just work witchcraft on her own son to subject him to her will, you know. And Wayne, this was the thing about the roots. Wayne knew before I did. Matter of fact, he was trying to tell me. He knew that they were doing that before I knew it. But he was trying to tell me, but Wayne never really comes out and says it. He said it in a song. This is New Orleans, so my queens do voodoo. See, what Weezy does, he tries to, if he feel like he doesn't have the power to stop something, he just tries to glorify it or make it look like it's okay. It's not going to be okay. Voodoo ain't ever going to be accepted by the masses. It'll be some people who practice it, but you ain't ever going to make it mainstream because there's too many people who know better. You know, they know better than to do something like that. But he was trying to tell me that they were doing it. You know, everything he's done, he himself, Wayne, has been, not everything he's done, but he's done a lot to cover up all of this. Even though he was trying to get the word to me, he's been trying to, when I really started becoming aware of stuff and started exposing it to people, he realized it. And then Wayne watched me steadily as I came into the light. Like, he saw me when I was in the dark, when he knew what was going on, and he knew I didn't have a clue what was going on. You see what I'm saying? And he saw me gradually come into the light of it, more and more, and then he saw me come out publicly. And then that just got bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And now it's like, oh, okay. You know, now he's trying to cover up some stuff because I'm really putting it on blast. You know, Wayne got every warning that he could get from God for 10 years. Let me see, I came out in 09. It's 2013. 1, 2, for 8 years. Prior to me coming out publicly, he's heard me privately for 8 years. You know, and he knew what was happening. I found out later, and when I found out, you know, The Lord was showing me I was dealing with it privately because it was still private. But He saw me come into the light of it and into the knowledge of it. And so when I started telling the world through being online and through the videos, He started trying to make her look good, her, his mama. He was putting, when he was in prison in Rikers, he had this site, website, um, Wheezy Thanks You. And he was putting on there accolades of his mother. A mother is a beautiful thing, or something he wrote, some kind of, I don't know. I don't even know if he wrote it, but trying to always make her look good and cover up her evils. You know what I'm saying? Understand this is what it's about in New Orleans. It's about cover up, cover up, cover up. Cover up the truth, hide it, bury it, and front lies to you. He wants her to look normal like other mothers. She ain't normal like other mothers. See, here's where me and Weezy, it really gives the difference between a true woman of God, a California angel, and a nigga from New Orleans. You understand? And we bump heads because he's about covering up shit and fronting stuff out there that's deceptive, and I'm all about revealing the truth and uncovering stuff and revealing it. I'm not out there in other people's business, in their business, revealing stuff and exposing things in general. I just strictly stick to my life and the things that come to my door. You understand? But he's about hiding and covering up, and my whole nature is to reveal and tell the truth. I am a Sagittarius. I have much of my planetary energy is Sagittarius. I'm a Sag with Sag rising, which means I'm a double Sag. Most of my planets are in Sag. My Jupiter is in Sag. My Neptune is Sag. I mean, I know probably most people who are listening to this don't understand astrology or maybe don't study or whatever, but I've studied it for years. And I know why I'm the way I am. I know exactly why my personality is the way it is. Sagittarius energy is about speaking the truth. I'm not saying that they can't lie, but it's harder for a Sagittarius to lie because they're generally good people of some type of religious or spiritual lifestyle. You understand? I mean, there's exceptions, but this is generally the truth. They're about the truth. If you look up what sign is about the truth, Sagittarius is. I don't like lies, so that's in my nature. You understand? People say, well, why is she so wild or so crazy or so this or so that? And what you have to understand too about astrology is each sign in the zodiac is 30 degrees. I don't know if I've explained this before. I've made so many videos, I don't know if I've said this or not. And I'm not trying to be redundant, but I've made so many videos that I don't know what I've said now. But anyway, with Sagittarius it's 30 degrees, and everybody knows that the Sagittarius is represented by the centaur. And from 0 to 29 degrees is a sign. It's 12 signs of the zodiac. Each sign is 30 degrees, and 30 times 12 is 360, which is where we get our 360-degree circle, full circle. And if you break up the sign of Sagittarius in each degree from the arrow to the end tail of the horse, the arrow at the front. If you look at the centaur from left to right, you see the arrow, and then the human portion, the head, the shoulders, and then it morphs into a horse on the rest of the body, and then you have the legs and the tail at the end. I'm born at the portion of the centaur that's the back legs, and which is the most untamable part of the zodiac. The legs of a horse can never truly be tamed. There's always a risk of it kicking you. No matter if you thought you tamed it or not, it's the most untamable portion of the zodiac. I was born exactly at the back legs of the horse. And then no one has ever been able to tame me. And that's just what it is. A lot of times, this is information that a lot of times people don't understand about themselves. But I seek to know as much as I can to know about life and to know about myself. So you have the fact that I have all this Sagittarian energy period, which is say wild horses run free. And then I'm born at the portion where it's the wildest and the most untamable part. And then you add to the fact that I'm from the wild, wild west. That energy is heavy still in California. I'm born in a place that's been untamable. And that's surprising and sporadic, out of the blue, untamable. The wild, wild west. That energy is still residually there in a lot of ways. And never, as a state that's never known slavery, never been in chains, a sense of freedom. And then I'm from Compton on top of that. You understand? And I had to fight my way through a lot of attacks on me, personal attacks, in interpersonal relationships growing up with people. And then you begin to understand why my personality is the way it is. You see, Wayne knows all of this. I mean, he's known this for years. Everything that you hear and he's already heard. Anyway, they just tried to tame the wrong person. You know what I mean? I'll break through trains like Samson. I was looking at the Bible miniseries on TV, and they were showing Samson how he was breaking through chains. I've always been untamable. I'm not just running around wild. I'm just don't try to chain me. I'm the wrong person for them to try to put roots on to control. I was the wrong one from day one. They know that now. But it was never gonna work. And when I think about these bitches, wow, ooh, I don't think about what they're about, the lies, the deception, everything that they've done, everything that I knew that they did before they came out to the public. And I get so offended at the type of people who would try to stop God's plans. That the gutter trash, dog shit vomit would try to stop God's plans. The lowest life people that you can't even imagine. You're going to come against God's people, His chosen people. People who have helped the world and the nation and on the history books in America and helped the homeless, disenfranchised, fought for this country in wars and come from a place that just has done nothing but bless this country and bless African Americans, and they're going to try to kill one of them and seize on her identity and seize on what God created and ordained for her. And they're trash. And one thing that scares Wayne is how I explain in it, flesh it out, that they have deceived the industry, how they con the industry. That scares him when I say that, but that's the truth. And he'll do everything that he can, or he has done everything that he can to keep you from knowing that fact. Because then you're going to look up and look at Wayne and say, why would he not say anything or do anything while he knows people are conning and deceiving the industry, and almost even seem to help con the industry and help con his fans? Why would he sit there quiet? Why would he sit there and put pictures up that make it seem like a situation is real that ain't real? And then you're going to start looking at him. See, when eyes start looking at him, Wayne gets real nervous. When eyes really start looking at him, he gets scared. He hides. Because you're going to start seeing the truth. He does everything he can to divert your eyes from seeing the truth, from knowing the truth. Then you're going to ask yourself, one thing is going to lead to more questions. You're going to ask yourself, why is he afraid? Why is he don't want you to see his fear. He don't want you to see the fact that he will sit up and not say anything while another bitch pretends to be his real God-ordained wife. You will see how sick he is. See, a lot of these things with the seizures and all kind of the before the seizures, the panic attacks, the medication for anxiety that he's been on, and all the stuff that you may not know that he's been on before the seizures, is telling, and that's what he used to try to cover up, the medication is what he used to try to cover up the natural consequences of the levels of evils that he's done. He always thinks that he can outsmart God. He's realizing that he can't any longer. And that's one of the things that's causing the seizures and the panics and all of that, is he's realizing he can only front so long. Sooner or later he's going to have to give up the gig, and rather than being seen for what he really has done and really is, to be honest with you, he'd rather die than to face the true eyes, the eyes of the world, seeing the truth. He's realizing that as people come into the knowledge of the things that I say, that it's getting harder and harder for him to cover up the truth. The truth is growing, and that's frightening him, because people's eyes are really starting to see it. In the beginning, some people didn't believe me, and I expected that, because they didn't know me, and they had the lies put out there in front of their eyes so long. But as this truth grows, and as I make more videos and people come into the knowledge of the truth, he getting frightened, scared, and more scared. He's already frightened, but he's getting more scared. He'd rather go off into fantasy land and denial and somewhere else to escape. Somewhere. He can't escape on the earth. If he could take a rocket ship to the moon, he probably would do it and live there to escape. And the things that Wayne has done, I knew a long time ago that there is no way. Well, I knew that he wasn't realizing what he was doing. He is now. He wasn't realizing the consequences of what he was doing, what he was allowing. It's so many reasons why Weezy is having seizures and any negative thing that happens to him. The prison sentence and all that, all the judgments of God, all of the karma that he's facing for the things that he's done. Nobody can, without God, anything less than God, and nobody can carry all that. Nobody can face all of the consequences of the things that Wayne has done. Wayne has done so many things that have been evil that I could just pull one thing out of 100, and that one thing would be too much for him to bear. You understand? When I don't even like saying this disciple's name, but when the disciple that betrayed Jesus, when he realized the state of what he had done, he went and hung himself. Wayne has a feeling of doom and all the walls closing in on him because no path that is paved with lies, no story that you've lied, no story that is a lie, and you keep trying to hold it up as the truth, is meant to live forever. It's the spiritual law. It cannot live forever. There's a spiritual law that lies cannot live forever. God set that in place, and he can't overcome it. Wayne took comfort or strength in the fact that early on, not now, and he's not doing it now, but early on, he took comfort in the fact that he was famous and he got to this place of this level, and he thought he could, if he put his word on it, it was going to stand, and no one could go above it. And he's seeing that that's not the case. I knew all along that that wasn't the case, and I've been telling him all along that that's not the case. But he's seeing it, and he in the beginning he was getting mad. Well, some of that energy is still there where he gets mad when he sees he's not overcoming the things that I said. He was mad about Rikers because I prophesied it to him and it happened. I always have been the woman that he's never been able to put down. He can't put it down. He can't put my words down because my words are from God. They're not my words. I'm the vessel. It's the Lord doing it. But he tried to, and he keeps falling on his ass. See, Wayne takes swings at me, but he falls on his ass while I stand. I'm standing. I'm not on the floor. They ain't not finding me unconscious. And see, when I say things like that, Wayne gets upset because he thinks I'm making fun of him. And I'm not. I'm telling you the reality. I haven't been locked up. They're not locking me up. I'm not hiding an MP3 player and can't listen to music and sitting up in solitary confinement because I'm not making choices that's going to put me in those situations. So he's swinging at me, and I'm still standing, and he's sitting up in a hospital bed. Needs somebody to carry him through the hospital, help him. Of course, California. God showing grace and mercy on his ass still. You see what I'm saying? But maybe this is why I haven't had children. I feel like Wayne is a child. I've always had to hold him up through prayer, and I'm not gonna sit here and complain about it because right now it comes a time when a nigga stands up and say, you know what, I need to stand on my own too. I know to take this energy of prayer, stand up, and walk like a man and stop making stupid ass dumb fuck choices that ain't doing nothing but hurting myself. But he's not knocking me down. And he's seeing that. He keeps trying to knock down the truth. This is how messed up his mind has been, but this is a result of his mother. His mother has twisted his mind and messed it up. And they, his mother and Toya, trying to convince Wayne, no, we can get her. They can get me. See, we ruling over her and we out in the media and we're doing this and we're doing that, trying to get him to take comfort in lies. He's seeing it now that they really fucked him over, but he's not going to tell you this. He's going to take pictures and smile and pretend like everything's okay because that's what he wants you to believe. It's not okay. He's got to come into the knowledge of the truth. No matter how much in denial he is, Wayne is 30 years old now. You understand? Sooner or later, you're going to come into the truth. And he has. And he is. And that's the problem. And when as he comes into the knowledge of the truth, he's having seizures behind it. He's realizing what he did and the hellish place they led him. He thought that if he took pictures with the people who were shitting on his life and shitting on him and disrespecting him and smiling with the people that he's supposed to beat their ass for the things that they have tried on him and how they disrespected him and shitted on him, and the fact that he's supposed to correct people and not walk in their bullshit, he's coming into the knowledge of what they did. And he's coming to the knowledge of what he did. And he thought if he just covered it up, it would be okay and he could hide the truth. And they tried to make him, comfort him with that lie. You can hide the truth successfully. See, we can ride on top of Angela. We can do things and we can make her seem to be a liar. Just come with us and trust in us. The two motherfuckers, not Toya, because Toya don't have no place in his life, but his mother, the person he's supposed to trust the most. Your mother is the one person you're supposed to be able to trust the most. And she totally shits on him. She sides with other people who shits on his life and disrespect him, like Toya. And instead of saying to Toya, look, you're not his wife. You came into his life when you was 14 because I wanted him to have a baby with anything walk on the street, and I brought your name up when he asked other broads and they said no. Okay, you're not Angela, you're not the one that he's in love with, you're not the one God called into his life. I'm sorry you got caught up in my shit that I tried to make him do, but no one made you have the baby. You know? And he loves someone else. And you're not meant to be with him. But instead of doing anything that makes sense, she never does anything. So we're going to kill the real one. And we're going to put you out there like you're her. Don't worry about her. I got her. I got these roots on her. She don't know what time it is. She ain't from here. So we got her. And we know her and Wayne ain't took no pictures, so she ain't got no proof that she even know him. So we gonna do this. Stupid. Stupid. You was destroying yourself. And all she been doing for the last, since 2009, probably before that, I think before that she was claiming to be Wayne's wife. Pretending to be me, still trying to hold up the lie. And they think they can hold up the lie forever. And people's eyes won't see it. Because all they can do is lie, try to hijack what belongs to somebody else. She tried to hijack my place, but Wayne jumped out of that, didn't tell nobody about her, told the world he didn't want to be with her. told the world through interviews that his mama forced him into the situation. He didn't know what he was doing. And that's what they do is they look at Wayne and at a time when he's very young, he don't know what he's doing. And he's been abused his whole life and use that against him, knowing he don't know what the hell he's doing. Seizures is a result of having trash like his mama in your life and following her direction, which ain't leading nowhere but to disaster. I mean, it's the sickest thing I can think of, and I know I say the same thing over and over. But her son found the light of God, a Christian woman, and she tried to kill the relationship and the joy that I brought to Wayne and front some trash out as his wife. Instead, somebody who had sex with his friends after she had the baby behind and from Wayne's own lips. In other words, his mama sides with everybody that's shitting on him and disrespecting him, and not her own son. But she wants to pretend like she cares about him in front of cameras and in front of the media. And I'm the reason that Wayne is at the level of fame that he's at. At the level of fame. Not that he's famous, but at the level of fame that he's at. I took him there through my love and through the God in me. You see? Sagittarius energy is expansive, so when I came into his life, along with God, who's also expansive, it expanded him. You see? And it expanded his career and enriched him and made him bigger. I understand why things happen the way they do. You know, to be honest with you, it's hard to see somebody, and he's 30 now, and even if he wasn't 30, it's just hard to see any male, let alone a grown man, who knows that people are shitting on him and disrespecting him and his life and won't do anything about it and lets it happen. And not only that, tries to side with the people and smile. It's a sickness. It's some evil shit that you just cannot fathom. He smiles with the people who are shitting on him, who are disrespecting him, and he knows that they're disrespecting him, and he won't do nothing. And I'm not going to, I think one of the things is, because Wayne wants to take the pussy way out, he wants me to be so offended, which I am. But he wants me to be so offended and so disgusted that I just run away. Why would he want you to run away if he loves you? He don't want to face, he don't want to have the balls to face the things that he's supposed to face. He wants to run. You understand? He'd rather run than to be faced with the things that he's supposed to do as a man. What man lets people bend him over and won't do anything and won't fight back? It's like he's been totally owned. Now, I'm saying this with the full knowledge that God is destroying all the wicked, evil enemies that came against our union and all those that bent Wayne over. And I know that part of the reason Wayne hasn't fought back is because of roots. His mother, y'all need to study some shit. And I say this because the roots were going on before I knew it, so I wasn't even fighting the roots properly. And that's why they were able to grab a hold and do some things up until the point that I came into the knowledge of them. You see what I'm saying? But that was in '07. They started the roots in '01. 6 years of roots unchecked. You understand? And that's why you have this. And they knew that I wasn't checking it. You dig what I'm saying? So it's so much false things that happen as a result of the roots that are put out there in front of your eyes is true. When you see pictures of Wayne with Toya, that was roots. That was, I'm talking about after 2001, after I came into his life, after October of 2001. That was them hijacking time that belonged to me and Wayne for our relationship. That was not Wayne's wanting to be with Toya or wanting to be around Toya. That was roots. You see what I'm saying? That was witchcraft. That was forcing a nigga against his free will by taking, I don't want to go into it, but by doing things behind his back with witchcraft and then making it appear as real in front of your eyes. And Wayne felt like he could not fight this. You see what I'm saying? He's in the recording studio, he's on tour, he's doing his albums, and he don't, that mainly belongs to the women in New Orleans. There are men who are aware of it and know how to do certain things, but that there is mainly women, female dominated. You see what I'm saying? So he didn't have a chance. You dig what I'm saying? They was working it on him. And so it made it appear as if he's in a relationship with Toya because, well, when he come to visit his daughter, which he has to visit his daughter, even though his daughter came about to his mama, he still visited her. And they took pictures. And Wayne never ever thought that Toya would come out and bring these pictures out to the media, or front them to the media. You dig what I'm saying? So what happened was, because there were so many pictures, and people are gonna say, see, after a while, Wayne don't want to appear to people as if he's made all these mistakes. So because they had so many pictures with him, he tries to make it like, well, I meant to do that. You dig what I'm saying? And instead of saying, no, they fucked me over here in this month, they was fucking me over. Until this month, they was fucking me over. Here and here, they was fucking me over. He tries to own it and make it look normal. You see what I'm saying? So that he doesn't look abnormal to people's eyes. Wayne's number one concern is how he looks to the masses. That's why they try to cover up him falling on the floor, having seizures, not being able to take care of himself and all of this, because he got to have this image because of his name in the industry. So he got to look like, no, I meant to do this all these years, and he didn't mean to do it. You can see the truth when at the fact that when he quote unquote married Toya, that he never told nobody about it. This was in '03, '04. He was world famous, and nobody knew who she was. You understand? He wasn't trying to tell the world because he knew it was a mistake. And he put that shirt on saying, I don't want to be married to this bitch, future ex-husband, right afterwards, because he knew it was a mistake. And he divorced her while not having told the world about her because he knew it was a mistake. And she came out 5, 6 years later by herself. Wayne long took the name from her 5, 6 years ago and calling herself his wife to Sister magazine, probably the only media outlet that would take this bitch seriously for whatever reason and not see through the shit. And she came out there by herself using his name from a divorce that happened 5, 6 years ago for a marriage that never really was real because it was an act of witchcraft, and they trying to keep your eyes from seeing I'm his real wife from day one. You dig? They did their best to cover me. They still trying to cover me. You see what I'm saying? They can't control me, but how they try to lie to you now is just put pictures out there and make you believe stuff that ain't real. You can see in Wayne's face that it ain't real. You dig? That he didn't want to be with her. She just kept trying to have my place, a place that wasn't hers. She wanted more than what she had. One of the reasons I'm starting to see, even in this moment, I'm starting to see, one of the reasons she destroyed herself, because she destroyed herself by doing all this, lying to all y'all, putting pictures out there to deceive y'all, trying to harm God's people, etc., on and on. One of the reasons she destroyed herself was because she never had a place in his life. Now I'm seeing it just right now. Because she had no place, no business being in his life, period, at all. Zero. You say, how she don't have a place? She has a child by him. I'm saying the child was not of him. It's his child, yes, biologically, but it's his mama's idea, his mama's doing, his mama's evil, his mama hijacking her son's free will. Now, I don't think she was working roots then when he was 15, not until I came into his life, but she forceful and intimidating and, you gonna do this, and she's the only parent that he has, so he did it. And he's a minor, so she's wholly responsible for that first daughter that he has. That is Chastita's child, Chastita's idea. Wayne had nothing to do with it. He was a minor. He was forced to do this as a minor. But the reason why Toya destroyed herself was because she didn't have any place in his life, not even as a baby mama. That was not of God's will. That was pre-planted to that was a plan of the devil. Chastita's totally of Satan. That was a plan of the devil. Just like, I'm going into something else that y'all don't know nothing about, but when I was born, there was someone planted in my household that was of the devil, was planted there by the devil before I was born, so that when I was born, I'd have the devil in my life waiting for me. It's the same scenario here. And this person that was planted by the devil when I was born, that was there before me, waiting on me, the devil waiting on me to be born, this person has a line that ties to Louisiana. And I'm born in California, and this other person born in California, but this person that's of the devil, his people ties to Louisiana. You understand? So it's almost like the same situation again. Whereas when the Lord called me into Wayne's life in '01, the devil already had planted a situation through one of his main soldiers, one of his main people, Chastita, planted a false situation to try to destroy me, destroy the real that is of God. It's the same thing. It's a repeat in a different form. Same thing. So Toya destroyed herself through the things she did, the lies she told to the media, pretending to be another woman, deceiving you with wearing a wedding dress and all of that, conning you all these years, and the roots and all that she's done, things she's done against Wayne, everything that she's done that destroyed her. It's because that soul and that spirit inside, whether she's consciously aware of it or not, knows she has no place in Wayne's life. So she utterly destroyed herself. She doesn't have the place of a baby mama in his life. That's not a legitimate place. And sometimes, even though that's not a legitimate place, in some other people's lives, those things, they stay there because they don't ever come up against God's real will and real plan. But their fatal mistake, everybody's fatal mistake, is coming up against God's real plans. And that's how she got utterly destroyed, Toya. She got utterly destroyed because that soul had no place in Wayne's life. I have no idea where she was ever supposed to be. Actually, to be honest with you, this is her calling. Because the Bible tells us that there are, I would gotta find that scripture too, that there are people who are conceived. How does it go? There are people who are created to do the work of the devil. And so when they do the work of the devil, they're actually doing their particular calling. Because everybody's not planted by God. There are people that the devil plants down here, Jesus said. So she's actually doing what she's supposed to do. All the evil that she's supposed to do. And I know that I've went off on about the evil, about these people, but actually in reality they're doing what they're supposed to do as children of Satan. I just am so taken aback by the depths of Satan. And I think this is what Jesus meant in the book of John when he said, Jesus was praying to the Father and he said, let them, he talking about his sheep, his people, let them be spared from knowing the depths of Satan. The depths. See, Jesus knew the depths of Satan. I knew that there was evil. I've seen great evil in my life. But these depths that I've seen since I've been to Louisiana, been to New Orleans, these are depths beyond your wildest imagination. And they know these children of Satan, they know that you cannot see the depths of Satan, that where they really are. And they are disguising themselves right in front of your eyes, blending in with everybody around them. Wearing clothes, everything is intentionally planned, plotted, and calculated. Wearing clothes, a certain outfits, doing their hair to blend in with everybody else. Watching you, not being able to see them. Just like in the Skeleton Key, the movie. Looking at you, not being able to see them. Looking at you, not being able to tell who they are and what they really are. Disguised, just like Jesus said, Satan comes as an angel of light, disguised as an angel of light, to deceive you. It's made me, this whole situation has also blessed me and made me not look at the exterior of a person at all. At all. You cannot tell by the outside. God forbid you pick anybody to be in your life by how they look. Physically. So they know you can't see them. They know you can't tell what they are. They're watching you not being able to see them. Not seeing them. Then this low-level, low-life trash makes their way into good people's lives who don't have a fucking clue what just creeped up into their life. Don't have a clue what just creeped up and slithered into your life. Trying to leave a place that they feel is not beneficial to them and move in to Atlanta, a place that's much more different than where they come from. And they can only take your life down. That's all they can do. They are not holding you up in any way, shape, or form. They're holding up no one. They are trying to find people to live off of. They're like leeches and parasites. They need a host to live off of. She couldn't live being who she was, so she thought she could just hijack my identity and live off of that. Toya did. She thought she could let's just hijack the real. We could just take their shit and hijack it and front it. That's all right. But we got this. You're going to hijack my identity and live off that. No, you ain't going to do that. But they need someone they're nasty, decrepit, low-life fast, trying to find someone to carry them. They ain't bringing you no blessings. I don't give a fuck if it look like they bringing you blessings. It's disguised. Satan is in there. They're taking your life down. You are their host. You are their dummy. Carrying them. Carrying this trash garbage that did all these evil things. And still doing it. Still trying to deceive people and con them. And they're hell-bound and of the devil. No remorse, no repentance, no confession, no truth, no anything. You ain't gonna get it. from them because they're hellbound. And they know it. So they're trying to do as much as they can before they go back to the flames of hell. That's what's really going on. And they need these people who will, they can throw their nasty, decrepit asses on to carry them into some kind of a blissful place. When they'll never carry you. They will never be a blessing to you. They will never hold you up. You will always be holding them up. They're the trash trying to live off your life. They slithered into your life, and you don't know what slithered into your life because it was dressed up and disguised. But when the calamity comes, you're going to know Satan was there. These are curses in your life. And you can't say I didn't tell you. These are curses. You see, and if Wayne fall by the wayside and collapse dead behind the shit they did, let's jump on to the next motherfucker that's going to be our train that we can hop on, that's going to take us into some blissful place. And just use motherfuckers and use motherfuckers. God got their number. God had it from day one. He got their asses. You wonder sometimes why he seemed to let the wicked go on for the time period that they're going on, but he let them live long enough to see that people are coming into the light of their bullshit. That people are coming into the light of the truth. They got to live to watch now as the media and as the masses amounts of people come into the knowledge of the truth of what and who they are, which is what they tried to cover up from day one. You live long enough to see that your shenanigans and your shit was exposed, and then you die. God always has it wrapped up. These stupid ass bitches think they're gonna sit up and get over on God and get over on his spiritual laws that he planted. All the devil's people are fucking stupid, thinking that they're gonna get over on the almighty creator of the universe. That Jesus already beat the devil's ass. You think already, not going to, it's already done. You gotta know that. He did it 2,000 years ago. When he rose from the dead, he beat death, hell, and the grave and every plot and plan of Satan. So when you have him, you have victory over the devil. Because Jesus already won it. These people are belonging to Satan. And then they'll pretend, then this is the real abomination right here. Is Chastity will call herself a religious woman. Will call herself a child of God. Oh my God. Oh my God. This is an abomination. That woman is an abomination to this earth. She's an abomination to people's lives. She's an abomination to her son. She's an abomination to humankind. She is an abomination. Her presence is an abomination. She brings nothing good, but want to pretend to be good and make you think a certain way. They're trying to frame your way of thinking about them through pictures and through this and through that. People be saying you saying the same thing you did from day one, because the truth doesn't change, y'all. I ain't gotta remember it. I ain't gotta think on the truth is the truth. Baby is another evil one who tried to, oh Lord have mercy, because he's so much older than Wayne. He never was no good influence in Wayne's life. But steady want to stand next to my man that I brought him to that level, by the way. Well, what you talking about? I'm the reason why Wayne is famous. He came to me and I put him on and put him. You know what? He doesn't owe you his whole life because he signed with your record label and debuted on your record label. You're not his wife. You trying to be in every picture with him and want him to bring you shine at all times. You're not his wife. I know you think you're his wife. I know you want to be his wife, but you're not his wife. You're trying to have the place of his wife. It's unnatural. And Wayne ain't doing nothing but making himself look like a fool. letting the nigga kiss him in the mouth and all of that. And I'm looking at that picture knowing at that moment Wayne is stone cold in love with me, and I got the tapes to prove it. All during that time, before he even had his dreads, when his hair was still in French braids or plaits. I got the day when he got the twist in his hair that turned into the dreads. We talking on the phone and he's telling me about his new hairstyle and how he twisted his hair. You see? This shit been going on a long time. Long before he had the squad. Before the squad even was formed. Before Young Money. Before the squad. Before the Carter albums. That's how long these bitches been lying and deceiving and trying to defraud people. They're Satan's children. They can do it for a lifetime. And that's a mark of Satan's children. They can do evil until they're destroyed. They will do evil. They have their allegiance to the devil. But I fasted for Wayne. I didn't bring whores into his life like Baby did, trying to get him to fall into sin and fornicate, kissing him in the mouth, disrespecting him so his enemies can have ammunition against him for the rest of his fucking life. I don't bring Wayne to those places. You did. I fasted for Wayne. I prayed for Wayne. I told Wayne of the word of God. That's what I did. You can never be me. You could never be his wife. Though you try, and you want to be in every video, and you want to be seen with him in every picture. And I ain't even seen a picture with Baby and his real wife. I heard he was married. Is he still married? I don't know. You married and you don't even have pictures with your wife out there like that, but you all up under another nigga? Really? And your wife is supposed to be one with you, and you're one with your wife, and that's supposed to be your soulmate? A man, when he's grown and he's married, the majority of his pictures are supposed to be with his wife, his rib, his better half. This nigga's hanging on to my nigga, like my nigga is his wife. And he don't want you to know this. I mean, you know it. People know this ain't nothing new. But he don't want it to be talked. Baby don't want it to be talked about. Because it's so very, very true. And he ain't got nothing he can say to dispute it. Because niggas know when you of a certain age. You gotta understand, Wayne is 30 himself. And Baby is older than that. And been older than that. Shit, I don't know how old Baby is. 50, 60? I don't know. But I know it's mighty sick. He's mighty sick and he's been sick. He's supposed to have more pictures with his wife than you could ever find with him and Wayne. But of course, he wants to be me so bad. It's all about me, folks. Everybody attack me. It's been this way since I was born, by the way. This didn't happen when I came into New Orleans. This has been going on in my life. This has been all my life. Attack me. Pretend to be me. Talk about me. Try to take what's mine. Front like you me to the world. Everybody wants my place. Nivea wanted my place. Nivea didn't know nothing about me. She just lost all in the land of the lost, not recognizing she trying to grab hold of somebody else's man. A man God ordained for another woman. She could not. She kept bumping her head against the wall, scratching her head. Can't figure it out. Well, why don't he want me? I look good. I have a career. I got my own. I can sing. I can glorify him. I could do this. And you still couldn't get my man. Because God didn't call you as his wife. I was already there. If I wasn't there, then that'd be a different story. But I was already there. Whether you knew me or not, whether you saw me or not, you don't know where you belong. This is what happens. Bitches all stumbling in territories that they don't even belong in because they're not following the Holy Spirit. They're following their own, what they want to do. I want this man. I want this life. They're all coveting a life that belongs to another woman, that God ordained for another woman. They're coveting a man that God created for another woman. This woman is right here in prayer and in fasting too. Then God about to cut your limbs off to the point you trying to get sick behind this man. a man that ain't even yours. All he showed you is that look at how he can put these bitches down. And this is the problem Wayne has had with me. He couldn't put me down. He can't have me have a baby by him along with a bunch of other broads. You dig what I'm saying? He ain't gonna have me pregnant and I'm not married to him. You dig what I'm saying? He can't do me the way he can do others. I will stand until I'm 99 years old against the shit. You dig? But he still trying to make me fall. He trying to show you, look, I can get this bitch pregnant. I ain't even got to marry her. She's an actress. Look how I can dog these bitches out. He ain't telling you this. He ain't gonna admit to this. He ain't gonna never admit to. I ain't gonna say he ain't gonna never admit to the truth, but he ain't never admitted to the truth. He too pussy. That's what he's saying, but he ain't got the balls to say it with his words. Why don't you say, hey, look, I can get these bitches pregnant and leave them and bounce with another bitch. Ha ha, I'm Wayne. That's what he's trying to say. That's what he's saying. You dig what I'm saying? With his actions, but he ain't got the balls to say it with his words. Look who I can get pregnant. Ha ha, and bounce. Bitch, bye. I'm with another bitch. You see what I'm saying? Immaturity. And these bras ain't got nobody to blame. This is a thing that's hell to them. They can't blame Wayne. Because Wayne didn't put no gun to your head and make you lie with a nigga with no condom that don't belong to you and ain't in no serious relationship, but you ain't even sold out to your ass. That's your doing. And then they bring children into this mess. That's how you know Nivea don't care about what's in the best interest of her child. You gonna have a baby by a nigga that ain't married to you. You thinking about your child? He ain't even committed to you. You're trying to prove, yeah, I can have a baby too. I ain't gonna let them have a baby. I'm gonna have his baby and I'm gonna be his woman, and nope. And you still wonder what happened. She tried and tried and tried and beat her head against the wall. Trying to be another bitch. That's why. Trying to take a man that God didn't create for you when a woman that he did create him for knows it. And knows who she is. Here I is. I'm watching you be stupid. That's what I'm watching. So Nivea's like the average trick. Have a baby by a rich nigga. You dig what I'm saying? That's a hood rat mentality. That's not, they playing games with lives and children's lives. Children, their consequences not having their father in their life and having broken homes and these things, and they sitting there doing this and creating this mess when they don't have to. And thinking, well, he got money, at least I'm okay. You dig what I'm saying? You ain't okay, because you touched something that God created for Angela, and Angela's going to pray the judgment of God down on your ass until you broken in half. Because I done went through too much to get to the place that God had ordained for me, to let another bitch who's trying to slide in through fornication and sins against God and steal what God ordained for me through my obedience. And you trying to slide in and steal it through your fornication. You trespassing on my territory, on another woman's place, and then you're going to try to get what God created for her through sins that God tell you not to do, like fornication, and think you're going to bless yourself. You're not. I don't care what it looks like in the meantime. God going to reverse it all and destroy all the evil. And they don't have nobody to blame but themselves. Acting like you don't have any sense, you don't know how to live in this world. I don't care what other people do. I'm different. That's why I don't respect these whores. I do not. I'm a higher woman, a better calling, a better kind of woman. A higher human being. But no matter what, if me and Wayne don't get together, which that's all up to me, if y'all don't know that, it is still up to me. The enemies will still be judged and punished. That prophetic word is going to stand. They're going to get theirs for the evil that they've done, no matter what happens with me and Wayne. And if me and Wayne don't get together, it ain't going to be because of something that Chastity or Toya did. In other words, it ain't going to be because their witchcraft worked or their evil worked. It won't be because of that. It will be because I chose to let go. I could choose to let go. I could choose to stay. It's all in my calling. That's all on me. Because I'm the authorized one. I have choices that you don't have because you ain't supposed to be nowhere in our life. Planting bastard seed. We ain't talking about those children were conceived in love. That's bullshit. That he'll say anything. He'll say anything to cover up things and make it look good. No, they weren't conceived in love because you having babies around the same time with different bitches. That's not even love and respect for them broads. They was conceived in fornication. That's the word of the Lord. And they were conceived against God's already established plans. You committed adultery and you had bastard seed. And God knows it. You can call it what you want, but it don't matter what you call it because you ain't God. You're not the creator of the universe. He is. And it's what he says that stands. He's God. You're not. And you're finding it out as you lie on your ass having seizures that you ain't God. As you lying in a hospital bed and motherfuckers got to tend to you because you can't stand on your fucking feet, you finding out you ain't God. As your eyes are rolling behind your head, you finding out you're not God. He's God. He ain't having seizures. You are. Always want to dispute God and dispute the truth. Season up. Trying to dispute God. Look like God punching you in the head. And God will do it to you. Got to get that lesson over and over that you ain't God. He always think he going to wrap it up in a way that he going to be looking good. He was looking good when he had the promethazine in the cup and the codeine and the syrup, smiling and guffawing. Ain't nobody stupid enough to follow your fucking example. Well, there are people, but I ain't. And a lot of people ain't one of them. Shit. Looked like everything was nice. Why aren't you showing that? Him with his syrup cup, show him convulsing on the floor and having seizures. Show him as he's passed the fuck out. Unconscious, being rushed to the hospital. Show the real results of stupid behavior. Ain't people looking at you knowing you doing stupid shit. You ain't convincing nobody to follow you into the land of stupidity. You the clown and the joke on the block. Everybody else standing up. They not having seizures. You the one that's left carrying the bag. You the one that's sitting on Rikers Island. Sitting up in solitary confinement. Hiding MP3 players. Trying to hide music that you're supposed to be free and grown to listen to. You make music and you can't even fucking listen to music. You hide the MP3 player. You don't see the predicament you got yourself in. Now you having seizures in front of everybody and everybody knows it. Yeah, I could do this to a pussy. I could do that. And I'll do this and I'll do that. You lay on your ass season up. That's what you do. That's what you do. You keep showing that God will punch your ass in the head. You keep fucking with him. That's all you do. You show that people can fuck you over and you smile and do nothing. You let them bend you over and you smile. You're supposed to be a man. You don't do nothing but prove my point. Trying to argue against the truth. Stupid. Reason why I lifted Wayne up and tried to make him feel good is hoping that that would make him walk. You understand? That would make him feel like a man, because I know his mother just shitted on him and abused him and tried to override his free will, so I wanted him to feel like a man. People were saying, how could you say nice things about him? You know, after he got out of prison and stuff. And that's why. But that don't work, so I guess I gotta whoop his ass in front of the world. Maybe that'll work. Because when I bless you and you take advantage of it and you take my kindness for weakness, and you think you could just shit on the holy things of God. Well, then how about I punch you in the fucking head in front of everybody then? And tell them what a bitch you are and how you're scared and how you're full of fright and anxiety. When God gives you the opportunity and the grace, take it. You know, the truth I'm dedicated to. I'll continue to speak it until the world knows of what happened. I'm never going to stop telling it, no matter what. If I marry another nigga, I'm still going to be telling the truth about everything that happened, about the roots and all of that. Because it's too great of a testimony of what God has brought me out of to not tell it. It's part of my life, and that story will be told forever. The truth lives forever. What he brought me out of, what I was surrounded by, the darkness. And not only in New Orleans, but throughout my life. He brought me out of a lot of stuff in a dark, dark, dark place, and still bringing me out and still healing me, and it's still going on. I'm not 100%, but I'm way past where I was as far as in the darkness and the confusion and not knowing certain things and not being aware. I'm way past that. And he didn't bring me this far to leave me, baby. Believe that. I'm gonna ride on with God to the ENT. I've been celibate. I've never revealed this. I'm revealing this now. If you're still listening after an hour and a half, I've been celibate since 1999. Let me see, 99 to 2009. 13 years. Chaste. This is why I don't let bitches act like they're on my level. You know what I'm saying? This is why no bitch can really ride with me. Because I've made sacrifices that they can't even fathom. A lot of people can't fathom. How can someone be chased that long? That's not possible. That ain't real. I don't believe it. If there are people who have never had sex, and they're nuns and they're priests, and there are people who have never had sex, and there's people who are 30. Y'all, I know it's hard for the world to believe this because the world is secular, but I knew a woman. I had a friend years ago. She was older than me, but she was 36 years old and she was a virgin. I might have told you this before. And she was 36 and a virgin. Never had sex. And Wayne said he knew someone who was in her 30s and never had sex. So those things do happen. I've always led a chaste-like lifestyle. I've never been a hoe. You know, a lot of women, they're celibate now and they found the Lord and all this, and that could be true. And sometimes it is true, but a lot of women, they had a lifetime of hoeing and promiscuity, and now they're giving themselves to God. They're used up, toe up vaginas. They done been around the block, laid the block down. You dig? Now they're giving their leftovers to the Lord. But I gave my youth to God. I gave him my best. You understand? I started early in my 20s, in my early 20s, 21, 20, getting serious in God, 19, serious in the Lord, and living a chaste lifestyle. And prior to that, I was never a whore. I was never promiscuous. I had very little sexual experience in this world. Nearly a virgin. And I had long-term relationships. Only a couple, you know. But that's one of the reasons why I don't have kids, is I live this chaste lifestyle. People say, can you have, that's when they ask me, can you have kids? Yes, I can have children. You did. But I'm serious with God. And I'm gonna tell you something else. I know that's astonishing for some people to understand. But there are people who are like that. Now, it wasn't supposed to be this long without sex because God had me and Wayne's relationship in mind from 2001 forward. 2001 was 12 years ago. So really, of course you have sex with your husband. So that was supposed to be sex between me and Wayne from '01 forward. It would have never been fornication with Wayne, even if we didn't have a wedding. It would still wouldn't have been fornication, nor could it have ever been because God ordained him as my husband. It's not the wedding, the earthly wedding, that makes it legitimate. It's the calling of God that makes it legitimate. That's why he said your will be done on earth as it is in heaven. It first has to start in heaven to be truly legitimate. You understand? My birth, my conception is truly legitimate because it started in heaven. My parents' relationship started in heaven. My parents' relationship got together because of God. God brought my parents together. So then if God brings the people together, then that which comes out of the people is of God. You understand? If the root is of God, the tree is of God, the branches is of God, the leaves are of God. So with my mother and father, God brought them together. The Lord told my father to marry my mother before I was ever even conceived. You understand? Their relationship was of God. So my conception was of God, and when I was 5 years old, I knew that. Not because it was told to me, because I knew it in my spirit that I was purposed for something. And then my father later on told me, yes, you're a holy child. You know? So my whole beginning is of God. That's why it's so different I live so different than the rest of the world. And even though I felt that growing up, I didn't always understand it, but I'm called from a higher place from conception. These people really messed themselves over trying to fuck me over. And my name, I told this before, my name Angel was named after Angel. And my mother's name is Celeste, after heaven. So I'm an angel that came out of heaven. And her mother's name is Lillian, which means God's promise in Hebrew, which we're Jewish. I come from a straight line of Jewish women. And my grandmother's name means God's promise. So out of God's promise came heaven, and out of heaven came an angel. That's exactly what our names mean. I can't be any other way. This is who I am. That's why it doesn't change. It's real. These people are really of Satan, and I'm really of God. And that's what all of this attack on me has been. The devil trying to attack me. Been all my life. So, yeah. What God had ordained for Wayne, I'm going to say this. Because I know some things that are to happen in the future already. God is not going to give a man. No, I'm not going to go there. I'll say this. Wayne has already lost some things that were his because it could be no other way. Because of the disrespect that he's shown to God's plans. There are some things that are too late. Wayne knows this. The devil has taken Wayne down to some deplorable paths with tricks and whores that's been passed through the industry, that have had trains ran on them. And it ain't just that I'm sexually inexperienced or I'm not hot or anything. I turned Wayne on to the point it scared him. You dig? Because as the saying goes, a chase lover, no, a chase partner makes the best lover. Because all of my sexual energies are still intact. It's powerful within me. And so when I unleash them, it's a whole lot of sexual energy that is unleashed on a man. It's a whole lot of sexual energy that is just could destroy a motherfucker. You understand? It is pent up. And so because it's contained and it's preserved for someone who is worthy. Well, that person was Wayne for a while. But you know that God is a God of justice. He's not likely to give to a man who has disrespected his will and his goodness and this great woman that he has blessed him with, that is his soulmate, that actually is his wife. But if you can forfeit the chaste, preserved sexuality of your wife and give it, and it goes to another man by God's divine law. Because Jesus tells you in the Bible that if your spouse commits adultery, that you can divorce that person under those circumstances. Even if God brought you two together, you still can divorce that person. But Wayne did more to commit adultery. He committed adultery over and over and over and over. And part of that was the roots, but he had some choice to not do it as well. We're not animals not in control of our body. There's masturbation. There's other things that you can do. You understand? So Wayne had a hand in his sins. God made a way for Wayne to be delivered from performing the evils that his mother wanted him to perform, and that was me. That was through my prayers, my fasting, my speaking to Wayne about the word, and he had access to me, the one woman that he loved and that turned him on beyond anybody else. And if he was honest, he would tell you, but I can just simply play the tapes. You did? And so you don't have women like me just out sprinkled out into the world, chaste, tight pussy. I'm just honest, y'all, okay? Maybe that was a little bit stronger than what I needed to say, but you understand, you got to understand that if a person has very little sexual experience and they have very little, and they've been chaste and celibate, you understand what I'm saying? That you're going to forfeit that for whores who have been broken through by every nigga in town and every nigga in the industry and passed through the industry to suck dick after dick after dick, passed around like a joint. Then God will take the pussy that he created for you, this hot sexuality that he had waiting on you, and put it into another man's basket. Because there's men who would love to have a woman who can anoint them, pray for them, be loyal to them, tight, good pussy. You understand? Not all loose and all of that. Like I was saying, there's women who hold throughout their life. And now they come into the Lord like, oh, yes, Lord, I'm yours. Yeah, after 29,000 niggas done ran up in it. But I gave God my youth and my best. You understand what I'm saying? My tightness, my body, and it's real. And so that preserved sexuality, everything in me is intact. I don't have kids. I don't have baby daddy drama. I have my own business. Do you understand? I'm intelligent. I have a Fortune 500 company background. I have the Lord in my life. I look good, double D breasts that are all mine, my own hair, my own nails. You understand what I'm saying? My own everything. Own home, own cars. And there's men who will appreciate that, especially with the vast amount of bitches out there who are unfaithful, unloyal, hoes, used up, babies, and everything else. God is not going to let you degrade his will and then give you all of this chaste tight goodness. And the sad thing of it is, it actually was yours. It actually belonged to you. It actually had your name on it. And you'll have to watch as another man that I choose, who the Lord choose to replace you, gets what had your name on it. Your treasure's then been put into another man's basket because you disrespected what was holy and good. And that's the thing that Wayne is like Red Fox in Sanford and Son. Grab his chest, look up to the heavens and says, Lord God, no, because that's the last thing that Wayne wants to happen. And you wouldn't know it by his behavior. But Wayne thought, this is the one thing I told Wayne that I never should have told Wayne because he took it and he took it for granted. He was too young to understand it years ago. Is that I'm called to obedience to God's will. I can't sin against God's plan. So he took that as, I've got to be faithful and loyal to him and preserving myself for him forever, no matter how he fucks up, no matter what he does, no matter what horrors he gets with. No, God ain't no fool, and neither am I. I'm sticking to you because that's my angelic duty. But beyond our relationship, without our relationship, I am called to these missions where there are certain people who have to be prayed through to their standing, and the enemies that try to defeat them are destroyed, and they're in right standing with God. But as far as the sex and as far as the sexuality and actually tasting it and experiencing it and feeling it and having it, he's not going to let you run up in whores and then give you all the treasures that come with me, all the tight chastity and good sex and good everything that he know I can do. I mean, he knows it so well that it put fright in him that I was so good. Just on the phone, I'm just going to be real with it, that it frightened him. That's one of the reasons for the fright. Well, he'll give it to a man that can handle it. And it wasn't that. See, I think what Weezy thought is he could practice on these other broads and then come to me for the ultimate. You understand what I'm saying? Well, let me just practice. Let me see what it's like to be with a California girl. That's Lauren London, California, because I'm a California girl. I'm his original California girl. Let me see what it's like to be with a California girl, Jewish, like Angela, a Sagittarius. I'm going to get close as I can get to Angela to see what it might be like with Angela, or to prepare myself for Angela. This is what's in his mind, y'all. Because Lauren London is Jewish and black like I'm Jewish and black. She's a Sag like I'm a Sag. Two dimples in her cheeks like two dimples in my cheeks. From California like I'm from California. Wayne don't ever tell you this. It looks like it makes no rhyme or reason, but he just doesn't explain what he's doing. And someone like Trina, who is a whore, in my opinion, from her own fucking lips and from niggas that ran trains on her, and they'll tell you they did. Oh, let me see what I... And it wasn't like, well, I'm just practicing for Angela. The nigga was sinning against our relationship. He was cheating on me, bottom line. Beyond all of this roots and all of that, the motherfucker was cheating on me. But he did feel like sexually I was at a level, even though I don't have the experience, but I could put it down, nevertheless. You see what I'm saying? In many ways. And he felt like he didn't have... Even though he had, before I met Wayne, Wayne had surprised me with how much hoeing he did. And it's like, you say, well, why would you even want a nigga like this that had all that under his belt before you met him? Because I knew that Weezy, as I got to know him, I knew that he come from an abusive background. I knew that he had niggas that was older than him, leading him in the wrong direction. He didn't have his father. I weighed everything to and gave him, and I knew he was very, very young. You dig what I'm saying? So as long as he didn't have AIDS or some STD that he could pass, I knew that he could be cleansed. He could be forgiven, and he can walk in the right direction. And he was walking in the right direction until his mama worked roots on him to get him off in the wrong direction. Then he stumbled in the dark and trying to find bitches that look like me and act like me and can't get to me because of the witchcraft. And I wasn't in prayer against the witchcraft because I didn't know what was going on. You understand? So that's how he got all off with these other bitches and even had babies by them. It don't look like it make no sense until you know the truth. It looked like it makes no rhyme or reason, and a lot of it really don't. But it's his mother's wickedness. He found the right path, on the right path, glad to be on the right path. I'm glad he's on the right path. And she goes behind his back and works voodoo dolls and roots on him to turn him to the wrong path and to pressure him to marry Toya, to use his daughter and put his emotions, use his emotions against him. And he's young. He don't know what's going on. They're attacking him from all sides with roots and everything else. And he makes these choices based on their evils. You understand? You got to know what's going on. It's a path that's been going on and on and on and on and on and on and on for a long, long time. So he had found the right path. That's the sad thing, is his own mama puts him on a demonic, evil, a path of darkness, to the point now he's having seizures. And all along the way he's had hell, anxiety, anti-anxiety meds and meds and pills and lean and all this stuff, because Wayne don't attack the problem. He just tries to self-soothe. He just takes drink, liquor, weed, something to self-soothe while he's on the wrong path and destructive path. You dig? It's torture to his soul to have been separated from me. And so he needed something to soothe him, because he never was supposed to be separated from me. And you can see all the pain in his lyrics and in his face. Look through the years and look at the pictures and wonder, where's all that pain coming from? He's in America. He's rich. He's in the industry. Why is he in his 20s in pain, now capped off with seizures? The face don't lie. The eyes don't lie. You can smile, but you can see past that fake smile he puts on and see the pain in his eyes. It's all his mama. Her interference. Her evil when he was on the right path. She think if she can make him stay on the wrong path and stay on the wrong path, she will defeat me. She always was defeated. You destroyed yourself. I'm still going to have the Lord do all the prophetic word he told me he would do. Whether I choose to be with Weezy or not, it's my choice. It's all in my hand. Now, Wayne, another thing that's torturous to Wayne is Wayne knows that there is another man in my life. Okay? I'm going to put it out there. Now, this is how strong I am in the Lord. Ooh, I'm so strong. But I ain't going to be strong for too much longer. I'm still celibate and still controlling it. You understand what I'm saying? But I already know that God already gave me permission. It's my choice. It's not on God. God said you could turn it either way. You could go with this man, or you can choose to continue on with Wayne. If I chose to continue on with Wayne, y'all, everything will manifest, just like I told you will. The marriage, the wedding, the everything. It will manifest. If I choose for it to. But because Wayne did so much, even with the roots, in accounting for the roots and all of that, still, I still have the option to go with someone else. And it's not even that I gotta go looking for someone else. God already brought me someone else. Wayne knows this. He's known this already for a while. And that someone else has more money than Wayne has. That someone else is strong in the Lord. that someone else is in his right mind. He not falling on the floor having seizures. Wayne knows all of this. This is one of the reasons for his seizures. There's many reasons for his seizures. Wayne knows who he is, and Wayne knows where he is. And that's one of the great judgments, that what God created for you, he will put into another man's basket. The main thing that's tying me to Wayne is wanting to see him get on the right road after the devil tried to attack. That's my angelic calling and my duty. And for some reason, God has an enormous amount of love for Wayne, an enormous grace that I've never seen given to any other person on earth. And I've ministered to a lot of people. But I think it's everything that attacked Wayne as a child, and having such a demonic mother. And all of that evil. Because if God brought me to Wayne, and God brought our relationship together, then Wayne had to have at one point some type of favor for whatever reason with God. Because God don't be giving me to anybody, and I don't be going with anybody. And that's why you've never seen me before ever, until I came out. You ain't seen me hanging out in the club and hanging out in there, because I'm preserved. You understand what I'm saying? Even my atmosphere is protected. I'm not easy to get to. You can't just get with me and hook up with me and all of this. No, this is prime rib over here, baby. This is high over here. This is high level, baby. People say, well, how could God give you somebody that has more money than Wayne? Because God is God, and for his children who are obedient and serving him, there ain't no limit to the blessings that he has. There ain't no, oh, if you don't get with Wayne, there ain't no other rich niggas. That's a hood mentality. You ain't gonna ever get nobody richer than him. It ain't about getting somebody that's rich. Rich was never even on my criteria. I was simply in the Lord, following the Holy Spirit when Wayne came into my life. I never went for wealth. I wasn't against it, don't get me wrong. But if someone is wealthy, I've known wealthy men. I'm from Southern California. I have family in the entertainment industry long before Wayne. I knew a lot of rich guys. You can't get me because you're rich. I have a different calling on my life. I have to follow the leading of the Holy Spirit to whoever he has for me. You understand? It's different with me. It's way different with me than it is with the rest of the world. It's not the same, baby. I don't live like everybody else. I don't do what the majority of the people out there are doing. That's one of the reasons. That's one of the things that scared Wayne about me. I'm so different from anything that he's ever known, because I'm of God from conception. But yeah, I'm not no fool, baby. And Wayne never thought in his wildest dreams. See, Wayne don't think a lot of things that have happened already and that are going to happen. He thinks he knows everything so much. He thought that I don't understand why he thought this. Even though I said yes, I have to be faithful to the will of God. That don't mean you can shit on the will of God. That don't mean you can cheat on me. That doesn't mean you can have sex with whores and make all these nasty lyrics about what you can do to a pussy and you going down and all that. That alone will get you stabbed in the neck by me. That better be fucking lyrics only, motherfucker. I wish you would go down on a bitch, and you, my husband, I will fucking slice your throat my fucking self. I will fuck you up. But you know what? Instead of that, God will just take everything that's in Wayne's basket and put it in another man's basket. And that'll be the end of that. And you just lost. all that you had, the chastity, the holiness, the sexuality, and everything that comes with me, this preserved, powerful sexuality, and gives it to another man. And in your own sight, because you did things that I was able to see. You walked with whores, and I was able to see it, and you had no respect for it. And you thought I had to put up with it because I was tied to the will of God and so loyal. Not so, baby. That was only one portion. Other portion is Jesus said you can divorce a unfaithful spouse. What he was trying to show you is, and he failed at that too. I can have Angela. Look it. I can have her out here pining for me, calling me her husband, and look, I ain't even got to pay no attention to her. I'm Wayne. Ha ha ha. Well, God steadily making arrangements to give everything that he created for you, all of the sexuality, pussy, everything, and give it to another man because you was a fool ass motherfucker. You thought you could play God and got your ass handed to you. Once upon a time, I didn't want no other man but Wayne. Those times have changed. You understand? And yet I'm still his wife. And I'm still the woman God created and ordained for him. That's the truth. But God ain't gonna be taken for a fool, and neither am I. And he mistook my loyalty and dedication to seeing him delivered from evil because of the lifetime of abuse he went through in his childhood, with thinking that he could shit on the righteous woman of God and the relationship and the marriage that God blessed him with, and do anything he wanted to. And he's seeing that that's not the case, and that's another reason for the seizures. That's another reason for them. But just to show you that God can give you something better than what you had before. He can do it. I don't see. Wayne had the false impression that I would never know nobody greater than him in his mind. Therefore, he can do what he want to do because she ain't gonna get who she gonna get. There's all kind of men that I know. I'm not. Oh, you must see. Broads in New Orleans, a lot of them are broke and poor and don't have any real good perspectives in when it comes to men. You dig what I'm saying? That's just the bottom line in God's honest truth. And it's some women who don't have good perspectives, or they're not the kind of quality women that can get a really good quality man that's healthy in God, wealthy, has his shit together. And so they gotta just, settle for what they can settle for. That ain't never been me. You understand? Never. And I think Wayne thought he thought he's the only wealthy man that I knew. He was sadly mistaken. But when I told him, the man that proposed to me before I came to New Orleans years ago, how he was wealthy, had many homes and businesses and cars, I don't think he believed it. It was hard for Wayne to really see me. And the whole thing is, I brought Ouija to where he is, to the level that he is. He doesn't really account for that, and he really doesn't. He knows it, but he won't admit it. You dig what I'm saying? And that's something that he's kind of sort of won't admit to himself. But I did. So then, that's the God's honest truth. And if I brought you to where you're at, what does that tell you about me? What does that tell you about what I'm capable of? You understand? What it was he took the level that he's at and tried to turn it against the person who brought him to the level that he's at. And then pretend like another broad was his wife. He wasn't down with it, but they kept putting pictures and stuff out there where he felt like, well, I can't lose face and be like, well, look at all these mistakes I've made, so I got to kind of own this. But he knew it was wrong, and that's another reason for the uh, seizures that he's having, and all of the anxiety and before the seizures, all the medications and stuff that y'all didn't know that he was on. You dig? Trying to cope in his psyche and in his mentality with the terrible, horrific, terrorizing choices that he's made, and he knows that God did everything. He hollered at Wayne. He warned Wayne for years before. That's why I shudder for Wayne, because I know the grace that Wayne shitted on. I know the grace in the hand that God extended to him and the way out that he extended to him, when Wayne just did foolish thing after foolish thing after foolish thing after foolish thing, thinking I gotta hold on to Wayne. I can't let him go. I'll never know another man with wealth. I'll never know another man like him. And I brought him to where he's at. My people have always been above. They're established. My uncle is Junius Groves. That's my great uncle. He's on the history books. You can look him up. Junius Potato King Groves is my great uncle. Junius' brother Robert is my great grandfather. And Robert had Jack Groves. And Jack Groves had Lillian Groves. Lillian had Celeste Groves. And Celeste Groves had Angela. Me. You dig? That's just one person. And Weldon, my cousin, y'all seen his story. If you've seen Red Tails, that's the story about my cousin's squad, the Tuskegee Airmen of the 332nd Fighter Pilot Squad. That's his squad that they did the movie on. That's the accomplishments of my people. You understand? And then, my uncle's a Hollywood actor since the 1960s. My cousin's a playwright. He writes Emmy-nominated, Golden Globe award-winning shows for television in Hollywood. My other cousin's a musician. He performs with Stevie Wonder and Gladys Knight and Erykah Badu. Everybody that's in the industry. And his wife is a Hollywood actress. You dig? That's my cousin. These are my people. My aunt, she's a senator, retired 25 years, first black woman in her part of the state to be a senator. Historic. My other cousin is a congressman. My people are high. You dig? Friends with Barack Obama. He doesn't know this. He didn't know this. I think he had in his mind, because he knew I was different and he knew I was on another level. When you hear him saying that on tape, if you go to my MySpace page, yeah, she's on another level. But I don't think he realized how high up. And the highest thing about me is the calling of God throughout my family and on my life. My grandma's relationship with God was high up. She passed her anointing to me, and my relationship with God is high up. Called from birth. It's a higher quality, a higher level that this world really can't really see or understand. But it's all throughout my family. It's all throughout my bloodline. And God puts me with a quality man. When Wayne didn't do what he was supposed to do, God put me with a quality man. My dedication has not been to Wayne. It's been to God, y'all. It's been to Wayne, too, as his wife, but it's primarily been to God. The whole reason I knew Weezy was because of God. That's not a me doing it or Wayne doing it. That's God doing it. He had mercy on Wayne. All the pain, suffering, and Wayne's face contorting and all the ugly faces he'd been making, and all of that, and pain in his eyes and all of that, it's because he thought he could disrespect God. And he thought he could walk in this way that his mama laid out as a path of hell and destruction. And he finding out that he can't do it. And he keep trying to beat me and fight me because I speak the truth. And Wayne is about defeating me. He could defeat every bitch. Having a bitch getting a broad pregnant and making her have your baby and then leaving her and being with somebody else, to him that's defeating the broad. Why is he always trying to defeat these bitches? Because he could never defeat his mama. His mama ruled over him and reigned over him like a monster. And because he couldn't rule and defeat her because she used roots and witchcraft against him, he tries to defeat other bitches. It comes out like this. It comes out like, well, I don't really like black women or dark skin or this or that, because it's a reminder of his mama. His mama is the evil one and he knows it, but he don't tell it. But it comes out in other ways. He consciously or unconsciously showing you. She's the monster in his life. Y'all don't see it. With knowledge of the truth, it all makes sense. Then you'll see that Wayne ain't made no sense in his choices. And the senselessness of coming against the Lord. This is a Bible story in your face right now. This is God 101. This is the Bible come to life in 2013. In 2012, in 2011, 2010, 2009. You dig what I'm saying? It's a biblical story that you're looking at and that you're witnessing between me and Wayne. It's the story of good versus evil, angels versus demons, the Jews versus the Gentiles, people of the devil doing witchcraft against the Holy Ghost filled people. How a man can forfeit everything God ordained for him and it goes into the cart of another man. And how foolishness doesn't pay off and stupidity doesn't pay off. And how evil people that try to harm innocent good people, how they are destroyed. How you plant seed against God's will when God's will is made manifest, and how God pluck up that seed like he did David's child. When he said, this child shall surely die because of your sins and your evil. David thought he could kill Uriah, take his wife, get her pregnant. Or let me put it in order. Take a man's wife while he's alive and serving him, faithful to him in his army. Take that man's wife, get her pregnant, then kill the man in order to cover up what you did. And now God said, no, I don't think so. You can't just do anything in this world. And that's what this whole story is telling you. It's beyond me. It's beyond human. It's beyond the industry. It's beyond all of that. It's God. That's why you have all of this. All this to do. It's all this to do. The things of God is always all this to do. The things of God, you see books written, more books written. The Bible is the best-selling book in history, and books that are about the Bible are the best-selling books. It's just all this to do about Jesus, and statues in Rio de Janeiro, and people bowing and on their knees and crying out about the Lord, and on street corners. All this to do. Who is this man? It's God. With God will be all this to do because his shit is major. You done stumbled into the wrong place. They sitting here tiptoeing into a live minefield, getting ready to have their legs blown off trying to steal what God ordained for me. You done curse yourself, your seed, and everything that come after you. Fucking with God, not knowing. Trying to harm someone they know nothing about, boo. And they finding all this out after I handed them their ass. After the fact. The truth ain't going nowhere. It ain't going away. That's what's scaring Wayne. He couldn't defeat it. Not with lies. Not with pictures. I told him this. God told him this from the beginning. God is not going to be defeated. Nothing you're going to do is going to defeat God. You're going to end up defeated in the end. And in a way that you didn't expect. He didn't expect to be having seizures and people knowing about it. And he's like, well, I'm having seizures. He thought if he was going to be punished, or in his simple mind, he thought he just going to fade out into death and wouldn't have to face anything and keep his image and reputation intact. He ain't realized he gonna have to live as long as God keep him alive. Even if he tries to kill himself, God can keep you alive when you trying to kill yourself, and it just don't work. He did it already when he shot himself in the chest. God said, "No, I think's not. You're gonna fucking live. You're gonna face everything you're supposed to face. You did. You ain't gonna kill yourself until God allows it." And Wayne's so silly, he'll take that as a challenge. Let me see if she's right. Let me see if I can kill myself. I'll take these pills. Because he's that loose of a cannon. Unless I pray for his ass and pray him through. And other people pray for him. Well, I can't die now? Okay, let me see if I can die. You dig? He's silly. But he didn't think that, okay, well, he couldn't foresee it. He got mad at me after being in Rikers like I put him there. No, your sins put you there. Got mad at me and think he gonna come out still sinning. Look, I'm still the same. I ain't changed. I'm still sinning. Yeah, you still losing too. You just sit there having seizures in front of people. And they still steadily trying to cover it up. Well, he's okay. We're watching the game together. He ain't okay. He just had a fucking seizure for the second time in a few fucking days. That's not okay, son. You ain't no spokesperson. You don't know what the fuck you talking about. You want to be a spokesperson. You ain't no damn spokesperson. Don't trust what they say. They just motherfuckers pretending to be Hollywood type people in the real industry. They ain't in the real. They just copying what other people. Other people put out a statement. They put out one. Nigga, you ain't professional. Let me tell you something about Mac Main. This nigga threatened me. And Wayne knows this too. In 2007 on a concert tour, he didn't know who I was. And I asked him about Wayne, and he got mad. He had performed with Wayne on stage that night, and he got mad because I didn't ask his ass about himself. So he gonna get mad at me and say, he said, I'll pick you up and throw you. Bitch, I'll pick you up and throw you. No, I don't think he called me bitch. But he said, I'll pick you up and throw you. I'm a gorilla or some shit. He said, I'm a gorilla. This motherfucker threatened me. This pussy bitch ass nigga threatened me. I'm a gorilla. I'll pick you up and throw you. Cause he was jealous. Cause I look good. This is what it boiled down to. I look very good. And dressed nice. You understand? Pretty, sexy. Even though I'm a Christian and I'm chaste, I still know how to look good. You dig what I'm saying? And he was offended because he was on stage with Wayne that night, and I didn't ask about his ugly, funny looking, big eared ass. Ain't never gonna ask about your ugly ass. And once again, I told Wayne what happened later on when I got a hold of him, and the pussy nigga didn't do nothing. Because the pussy nigga ain't never gonna do nothing. Didn't put him in check, didn't do nothing. Because he's pussy. I've been dealing with a pussy for a long time. And I'm tired of it. I'm ready for a real man. And I know there's a real man out there. I know of one right now. Straight up. Wayne knows I know of him. And that's another reason why he's having seizures. But yeah, this bitch threatened me. Then go try to talk about he's his spokesperson. And Wayne hired him as president of his company. Another reason Wayne is having seizures. It's 1,001 reasons why this nigga having seizures. He can't really live with the choices that he made. You gonna let somebody threaten your wife and not check them because you're pussy and you're scared. And then pretend like nothing happened because you're pussy and you're scared. You can't check people that you're supposed to check. And then you think you're gonna bless the nigga by hiring him in your company. And you think God ain't gonna get up in your ass? So I brought Mac Main before the Lord. You dig? Because even though he didn't know who I was, it don't matter. Even if I was just a fan. You don't talk to Wayne's fans that way. Bitch, when he hired your ass and gave you a job, which he didn't have to do. You gonna talk to somebody, even if they were just a fan, like that, because they didn't ask about your ugly ass that nobody's interested in, and you mad because I asked about my own fucking husband, bitch. I know he didn't know who I was, but it's irrelevant. You dig? Because no matter who I was, that was foul for him to come at anybody like that. And that's when I knew that's not a motherfucker that should be even working for Wayne. So I put him on the shit list. And because Wayne is pussy and didn't do nothing, God will handle it. Because Wayne too pussy to handle anything. All he can do is be scared and avoid shit that he's supposed to do and get bent over and get fucked. Trying to fuck me, you gonna get fucked. Actually, you're getting fucked. You're getting punched in the head and have seizures. It's happening now. But Wayne thought that that made me fucking mad thinking about that. Oh, ugly ass nigga. Yeah, that motherfucker's ugly. The ugly, funny looking nigga right there. But it's sad to know my husband's so fucking pussy he doesn't check the people he's supposed to check. Because he's scared. He just don't know how to be a man. If you don't know how to be a man and you a 30-year-old coward and you've been a coward all your life, you would ask, was Wayne gonna die? But what you don't understand is Wayne been dead. Wayne ain't never really lived. He was living for a while as he was walking in his relationship with me. But he fell back into fear and being scared. And that was part of the roots, but still he could fight it, you dig? It's not that I expect him to overcome all of the childhood abuse and everything. It's that he's supposed to try. You understand? And he has tried for a long time. I see him feeling like, fuck it. I'm tired of trying. You dig what I'm saying? Because he tried and tried and tried. When he was calling me and calling me and calling me, he was trying. But this bitch, Jacita, just kept working roots on him. But she's being destroyed. But, yeah. I mean, that's how much evil that I've gone through. Is my husband not even defending me against this shit? You know? All kinds of shit, really. But that was an outright threat, an attack. You dig what I'm saying? He's supposed to check that if he has a pair of balls, but he don't. Then Wayne want to go around niggas that do have balls and know how to stand up for their women. He want to hang around Kobe Bryant, and Kobe Bryant will get on national and international television and tell the world that he committed adultery on his woman and at least try to make amends and apologize, give her a ring or do something, you dig? Pussy ass Wayne don't do nothing but want to hang around real niggas. Ain't nothing real about him. He is pussy and scary as they come. And that's just the real. If people really knew what Weezy did against God's will and against his real true wife, they, instead of applauding him, they'd punch his ass in the head. But God already punching his ass in the head. That's why he has seizures. But if they really knew the things that he allowed and didn't do and didn't check, and because he was pussy and scared, you wouldn't celebrate nobody like that unless you're a fucking fool. I'm only in here because God called me to a certain mission, and I've been faithful to God, and God's going to mark it down that I've been faithful to him because I live for the Lord. So he's going to mark it down as my faithfulness to God. Not to Wayne, to God. Okay, daughter, you have done what I called you to do. You have gone. You have left your home, the only home you ever knew, which was Southern California, and you've gone to this place that you knew not, and there you didn't have friends there or family waiting for you or a job waiting for you, and you went down there on faith, on my word alone. God takes that and marks that motherfucking down. You dig? And you've been faithful to this bitch, and you've been loyal to this motherfucker who's been disloyal and disrespectful, and you've prayed for him, and you did it all to the glory of God. God remembers that. And I'd rather be in right standing with God on any day than with man. God remembers all that sacrifice, all of the chastity, all of the praying, all of the fasting, and none of it was in vain. None of it, because he called it and I was obedient. And I will never regret being obedient to God no matter what happens. I know if I am doing what he called me to do, that's enough for me. So y'all really seeing this epic lived out in front of your eyes. The Bible come to life, really. And you would really know the story if you knew the story of my birth and everything that happened in my life when I was a child, teen, and all of that, and what God brought me through, and the devils that came against me. You would really see the hand of God. But Wayne has been a pain to me. I'm not going to lie. He's been a pain to me. He's been the worst husband. He's been the worst person to stand up for me or defend me in any way. He has done nothing. He's let people disrespect our union, our relationship. He's let people disrespect me, disrespect him. He's been letting people disrespect him, and I can't give myself into the hands of a bitch coward man who can't stand up, won't stand up, and perpetually wearing a fucking diaper and always needs something to hold him up and people to pray him through and do vigils because the fuck can't stand up. Eventually, I'm going to need a strong man to lean on rather than being the strength of every motherfucking body else and praying everybody else through and them leaning on me. Eventually, a woman wants a strong man that she can motherfucking lean on for once in a fucking lifetime. No, bitch, you got to perpetually diaper and feed and help who can't stand up and won't stand up under all of the graces of God. God is destroying that demon Jacinta, who is the bane of Wayne's soul and existence, and many other people's, and getting and clearing all that shit out of his life that ain't supposed to be there. God is doing it. But under my prayers and under my graces and the grace of God through me, you have to have some fucking improvement, nigga. Not perfection, but steps in the right direction. And you still shitting on yourself and in the diaper, and all these years have passed, years of prayers and years of fasting, nigga, then you're fucking worthless. Because even Jesus said, if this tree is sitting up here and is taking up space, why is it fucking taking up space? Cut the bitch down. Cut this tree down. It's not producing any fruit. Cut it down. Why cumbereth it the ground? Well, we'll give it 3 more years, Lord, and we'll dung it, we'll fertilize it, and then if it produces fruit, then everything is okay. If it don't, cut the motherfucker down. And after so many years of investment from God, he wants a return on his investment. And you got to bring something. He invested this, you got to bring something extra, some interest, some something. And you ain't giving nothing but your same childish baby child behavior and immaturity after all these years. Let's fuck this nigga up publicly. Don't let him die. Let him be so fucked up in front of people that he's embarrassed, that he's ashamed, that they see this motherfucker who talk about he's so tough and he's so this and he can do that and he can do this to a pussy and do that. He'll flat on his ass shaking in front of your ass. He could do nothing if God didn't hold his bitch ass up. He couldn't fucking breathe. Don't listen to these spokespeople that's from the fucking underground demon world of New Orleans, below sea level demons who creeped into the industry through a nigga that don't know how to make wise decisions on who he should hire. Shit. I'll believe TMZ before I'll believe these fucks. Shit, I'm from Southern California. I'm from Los Angeles. My mother worked as a nurse in the hospitals in Hollywood. She worked in the ICU at Kaiser Hospital on Sunset Boulevard. Treated celebrities and people when they were in bad shape and in intensive care. My whole family's in the medical industry down in Southern California. My uncle had his own practice. He had his own medical offices in Compton and Long Beach when I was growing up. He's a doctor. He's retired now. My aunt had her own practice on Wilshire Boulevard in the Wilshire district. She's a psychiatrist. She's still practicing. My mom was a nurse her whole life. She's retired. Worked in Hollywood. My dad worked in Hollywood as a technician for Xerox. But most of my people in the medical industry are nurses down there. So I know what it is down in Southern California. I'll believe them any time before I believe these fucks that both of me spokespeople for Wayne trying to cover the truth up so that he can have an image of power Because I know what liars these motherfuckers were. Ironically, not only was I born and raised where I was, but at 29, I moved to New Orleans because God called me to move to New Orleans at 29 years old. And so I know that place too from experience and from living there. I've been living there now 12 years. 13 years. So I know what I'm talking about from experience in both places. And I will believe TMZ anytime over Mac Maine with his ugly ass. Threatening Wayne's wife ass. Sure will. Can't even believe Wayne. Wayne's own body testifying against him now. And to the point where it can't be covered up no more. And this is the misery Wayne gonna have to live out, is people looking at him and knowing, which is that's the there's many things that Wayne hates to his core. And all the things that's gonna happen that he hates. He hates this. He hates the facts coming out. He hates the truth coming out. He hates that he couldn't stop it. He hates that he made the choices that he made that's being exposed for what they were. Great mistakes. You did? He wants to be able to ride on top of the truth and put lies out there to make him look like he makes the right choices. And makes his mama look normal when she's anything but. Trying to look like the righteous. That's all they do. Is trying to look like it's all right, because there are people their shit is all right, but theirs not, and they just try to mimic it. They're mimickers, they're copiers, and they're pretenders. They pretend. They look at you and say, okay, that's how you dress. They look at your hair and say, okay, I'm gonna do my hair like that. That's how I'm supposed to live my life, and they just copy. All they do is look and copy, look and copy. They're not original. They're not even supposed to be in Wayne's life. They don't even have no place there. They're just trying to copy other people making a statement. Well, their publicist makes a statement like do-do-do-do-do-do. So let's sound like this, do-do-do-do-do. And you sound totally fucking ludicrous saying Wayne stopped the plane because he had a migraine. You can't even do it right. You don't even know what to say. Wayne don't know who to sweep out his life, but God does. And he's sweeping through the city. He's sweeping. Sweeping all y'all asses that don't belong there out, trying to supplant themselves there and root themselves in places that they don't belong. He see all that while they attack Wayne's real relationship. Everything that came from Wayne makes no sense. Nicki Minaj ain't supposed to be in the industry. She got in through sucking dick in a record studio, straight up. You dig? When people wasn't buying that hoish image that they put out, which is a real image, with her legs open and licking on a lollipop and all of that, and I started exposing it. They saw what I did to Chanel on YouTube. You dig? So they quickly changed Nicki Minaj's image to they don't know what is still in the script. Frankenstein, monster, crazy bitch, psycho bitch, Barbie. Just throw everything in the kitchen sink in there. We're going to throw all this craziness and we're going to get it all off the whole image that she really is, that she really came out on. Because Wayne told you on video she sucked his dick. He said she was a slippery slobber, and he said that on video on his tour bus. And that's documented. Meaning she's sloppy when she sucks dick. Hoes like that can only get in the industry on their knees, and it ain't legitimate. See, Wayne will honor whores. He's lost. You dig? I don't want to proclaim that he's lost, but he has honored whores. And we know that he has a history of honoring whores. How? Because he said Superhead was his baby, this bitch that was passed through the industry, sucking dick after dick. And getting with bitches that had trains put on them, getting with hoe ass Trina. He has a history of honoring hoes. Nicki Minaj lied to the Cosmopolitan and said if I had sex with him, he wouldn't respect me. Wayne has a history of respecting whores. Matter of fact, he got a song saying I don't care if she was a prostitute. And she hit every man in the booth. Boom. I don't have no respect for Nicki Minaj or any of these bitches that get into the industry on their knees. And that's why there's so much contention between her and Mariah Carey, because even if people don't know it, on an innate spiritual level, they know this bitch don't belong there. And that's why she acting all crazy and threatening A-list artists and superstars like Mariah Carey, who've been long established and accomplished, but this bitch ain't never touched yet. You dig? And never will touch, because God gonna root her ass up. but she trying to tumble with real artists, and she all off, and she don't belong there. And every motherfucker at that table of American Idol know that that bitch do not belong here. Okay? But that's Wayne putting bullshit into the industry because she got on her knees and sucked his dick. You dig? And that's supposed to be a star. And you got somebody that's not supposed to be in the industry, because when you're really a star and you're really supposed to be there, you'll get there through your talents alone. Not talents plus dick sucking skills. Talents alone. And she don't belong there. And she's another one that Wayne sinned with when Wayne was in a relationship, not a relationship, in a God ordained marriage with me. She's one that he fornicated with. So she is judged. And I'm going to tell you something about Nicki Minaj. She either going to have to, and this is the 3D truth right here, she either going to have to give up that career and become anonymous and repent of her sins, or she will be killed. Because what she's trying to do is make money off of her whoredoms. You dig? Not only can you not do it on your whoredoms, but your whoredoms were against a righteous, God-ordained woman. She did not have to know about me. Nicki Minaj, when she was sucking Wayne's dick, she did not know that he had a God-ordained wife, nor would that type of bitch care if he had a God-ordained wife. It would make no never mind to her. But she did not know about me, but it's irrelevant, because when you stumble into another woman's territory, whether you know it or not, you'll get judged, because you can know if you're doing what you're supposed to do and follow the Lord, because the Lord ain't going to lead you into somebody else's territory. He's going to lead you to your own land that he has prepared for you. So I am holding everybody accountable. Bitches I know of, like Nicki Minaj. Bitches I don't know of who was on the tour bus, who ain't got no name. I'm holding everything and everything accountable, known and not known, who fucked with what God had ordained for me. And you say, well, that's on Wayne. It ain't on, it's on Wayne and it's on that other motherfucker. They both sinned. Wayne God not going to answer for these bitches' sins. Everybody going to answer for their own sins. It's just, the reason why this is such a problem for them is people fornicate every day, all day. Don't seem to be any consequences to it. But that's because they're not doing it with someone who belongs to another person, and that other person is like me, chaste, celibate, in the Lord, been born of God from birth, Jewish, every promise on her, prayed up. You understand? It's a whole different ball game when they fuck with mine. You'll get killed. Y'all don't know this. Y'all don't understand this. Y'all think it's just me talking. So she just smiling, Nicki Minaj, thinking, oh, I made it. I made it to this place, and I can't be taken out of it. And I made sure I put roots here, and I got perfume, and I'm on American Idol. And she don't know, with one swoop of God's hand, he dead all that. Boom. You ain't never going to play God. And Wayne knew when he was having sex with her that he belonged to me. He was letting her suck his dick. And when I put Chanel on blast, you dig, all of a sudden now, I put Chanel on blast and her whoredoms. In other words, these not real professional entertainers. These are not celebrities. These are not stars. These are whores from the street who will fuck their boss to get ahead. The hoes that I hate, because I've been in corporate America, Fortune 500 companies, most of my life in my background. I've never fucked none of my bosses to get ahead. I don't have those kind of low morals. Now, I'm not trying to make myself as perfect, and I've never sinned or nothing like that. But I'm saying is, I've been in the Lord so long, been faithful so long, been in right standing with God so long, that when people touch what's mine, there's consequences to it. God honors me, and he honors his word. And I stand here until he honors it. And ain't going to settle for nothing less but him honoring it. And he ain't going to take me from that right, because that's the right that I've walked in and have the privilege of, because I've earned it through obedience. So she just laughing and smiling, thinking, I can't be touched, and I got these fans, and da-da-da-da-da. You dig what I'm saying? And Wayne, you can't trust what Wayne puts out there in the industry, whether it's for his own staff or the fucking artist that he put out there. Yes. Because they not real. Chanel ain't no real artist. She has talent. It's a shame that she felt like she had to suck dick, and when she has singing talent. But I know Weezy. Weezy is so fucking pathetic that he'll make broads have sex with him to get into the industry. And they're not real artists. They're just whores that come into the industry on their knees. Then they'll try to stand next to a broad who has her own band, her own group, who's a true writer, songwriter, producer, or artist, who didn't suck dick or have sex to get into the industry. And this bitch, Nicki Minaj, will stand right next to that bitch like she's of the same quality character and smile and take pictures. And the industry is just accepting this bullshit. But God ain't. And she lied to Cosmopolitan. Wayne already told you he had sex with her. Look at her name, Nicki Minaj. Minaj. You understand? Menage a trois. 3 people having sex. That's what she's about. That's what she came out on. That's her real, true image. But they changed that because I started putting it on blast. She ain't shit to me. She's just a trick. Another trick. Littering the industry with nonsense. And Mariah Carey's spirit knows it. And this bitch gonna actually threaten real artists after she came in through sucking dick. She said she had that presidential pussy. Wayne is the president of Young Money, put it together. And Wayne ain't gonna get up and say I'm lying, by the way. On this, he ain't gonna, on this or none of it. He ain't gonna get up and say I'm lying. He is getting tired of trying to dispute the truth. You ain't gonna hear him say, well, she's lying. He ain't never gonna do that. Don't look for him to do that. He already said that she sucked his dick. She ain't nothing to me. Especially the image she came out with her legs open. That wasn't even, that's a pose she hijacked from Little Kim. She couldn't even make nothing up original that's of her own. I come and respect the bitch with her legs open, licking on the lollipop. You just another trick toss. Well, I got all this now and I can't be removed. God says, you gonna be removed. You either gonna remove yourself or he gonna remove you. Write this down this day. Put these words on a permanent marker, baby. Put them on a plaque, nigga. She either gonna remove herself or God's gonna remove her. It's one or the other. These bitches are playing, y'all. You paying these whores. Non-artists. And Wayne don't have good judgment of who to put in the industry. He'll put this out there. And that's for real. You can't trust his choices. He couldn't stand up for his own wife. If he can't do what's right at ground zero, at the thing closest to him, that's me. If he can't do right with that, if he fucks that up, everything else he can't get it right. He trying to cover up and make it look right, but them seizures are telling on him, along with everything else. Rikers, prison, anxiety meds. Covering up his mama's abuse. It keep leaking out though. Let him just bring whores to you. Because they got on their knees and sucked his dick. Learn to respect women who are respectable. And treat hoes like hoes. He'll honor hoes. He'll have all kind of, he'll have you honoring stupid motherfuckers. I'm not jealous of Nicki Minaj. I have no reason to be jealous of her. I'm not jealous of anybody who sins against God and has judgment awaiting them. I'm in a good standing with the Lord. Why would I be jealous of someone who's not? I wouldn't want to be her on any given day. There's nothing to be jealous of. I'm fine. I look good. I have good titties, hips, and all of that. Shit. More curves than she can have. More curves than she has. She might can buy some shit. Baby, I got the boom, pow, bang. I have it, baby. She ain't got to buy shit. Ain't no reason to be jealous. It's sad that even for a little while this comes out, but God corrects it. It doesn't distress me because he corrects it. It is distressing though when your husband cheats on you. Shit. That's distressing. It's such a bad thing that God says it's worthy of death. Because the punishment for adultery was stoning to death, and that was given by God. That's how he looks at it. It's the same punishment as capital murder. Yeah, well, you can't trust what Wayne does or choices he makes, because he's fearful, full of fear and anxiety, and you just can't trust it. It's a little kid in a diaper talking about he can do this and he can do that. Nigga can't even pick himself up off his back. He can do this, he can do that. Nigga can't stop shaking. Nigga, you ain't nothing but comedy and a joke to a lot of people looking at you, and that's on the real. And that's really what's true, because you followed a fool-ass bitch named Jacita. And she can't lead you nowhere but to hell.